Hey guys, it's Nathan. This is my 2-year recap video of my 1-year bachelor's degree journey. Let's talk about that. So, I went on this journey to get my degree in 1 year, and a lot of stuff happened. And if you've watched any of my diary videos, you know about what that stuff is. So, here's the burning question, right? Did I do it in a year? No. Is it actually possible to do it in a year? So here's where I'm at 2 years wise. In 2 years, at the end of 2 years, the total credits that I have now received on my transcript is 86. The credits that I have pending to go on my transcript, I have 6 credits that are pending. And I also am finishing up classes right now for another 4 that I was doing in late 2018. So I actually will end up in my 2nd year with 96 credits. Now, I'm very close to being done. I had some things happen, but the end result is, okay, now you're 2 years in and you have 96 credits, which is not 120. So 1 year, is it possible? And the answer is, yeah, I still think so. So in my 1 year recap, I actually ended up with 84 credits for the entire year. So having 96, which is only 12 more a year later, actually is because of a bunch of stuff that happened to me in 2018. I talked about that a lot at the beginning of 2018. Basically, I had achieved a lot of what I set out to do, and so my entire degree journey had sort of fallen to the wayside. I also had my transcript change so that I had 84 credits, but then ended up with 81 credits because one of my classes fell off and became a duplicate. So that sucked. I actually lost 3 credits of my 84. So I went down to 81, and now we'll be back up to 96. So that's a whole interesting thing that happened in and of itself. So I still did get an okay amount of credits for 2019. But frankly, I was really busy. So to answer the question, is it possible in 1 year? Yeah, I think so. But just like I said at the end of 2017, where I was doing my 1 year recap, you basically can't dedicate yourself to anything else. So is it possible to get this done in 1 year? And my answer is yes. But if you're doing like anything else, no, it's not. Not legit, right? Like, I'll just face it, University of Phoenix has a bad rap. And accelerated degree programs in general get sort of a bad rap. This is culturally, historically, societally, whatever, the stigma that if you can do this faster than the average student who has gone from a 4-year average to now a 5-year average and pushing to a 6-year average for college degrees as it stands, if you can get that done in a year or 2 years, you must be doing something shady. We know that's not true, but the hard truth is that if you are able to get it done in 1 year, it's basically all that you can do. You really can't be focused on anything else. I was able to crush it in that first year because of pre-existing knowledge, where I was able to take a lot of tests really fast because I already had that information in my mind, just not from the college courses. So that was really easy. Second, I was going after a degree that honestly is relatively easy to test out of. I was able to test out of all of my general education classes and even several of the classes that were more like specific for my degree. Nursing students are going to have a really hard time doing this stuff because a bachelor's in business administration just simply doesn't require all that much practicum. Like, I don't have to show up and like do labs or whatever. I have to write a lot of papers, and I have to come up with I have to do a lot of, writing and crafting and whatever, but I can do all of that from my home. I don't actually have to be on site. I don't have to be like messing with anything. And there are a lot of majors that are like that. Social studies majors, I think even those, you have to get into a group sometimes and you have to be present for things. But stuff like economics majors and mathematics majors, you don't. And so, one, it depends on the major, and two, it depends on whether you have anything else going on. If you don't have anything else going on, yeah, I still think it's possible in 1 year. So let's recap this, because this inherently, like, as much as I love the fact that I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's so much fun for me, and like, it's just been such a cool journey to have gone on this 2 years, and inherently, like, at the end of the day, this diary is for me, and it's just given me a ton of joy, and it's given me exponentially more joy that I get to interact with people who watch these videos and comment on them, and that I get to help them, and it's like, it's made my life better in so many ways. But at the end of the day, I want to keep this diary for myself, and so I want to talk a little bit about what happened to me in 2018. Maybe you'll have fun with that, but I like to know. So here's some of the things that happened to me in 2018. Major life events. One, we had a second daughter. I did not deliver her. My wife did. She is healthy and happy and doing really awesome. She's almost a year old now, and that's crazy. That's a lot. Your second kid, that's a game changer. So we had our second kid. So now I have 2 daughters, and I think we're good. I think 2 daughters, and now I think maybe we're done. But we had a second child, and that was like, has been awesome. And I actually recommend 2 kids and not 1 kid. I actually think, this is going to sound crazy, 2 has become easier than 1 in sort of a weird way. It's more work, but it's not as much, it's like better work. So anyway, that happened. Also, I started this other project called the Legacy Cast, and it's really cool, and I have a website up for it, and I've done some of these recordings, and so I have the interviews recorded. I'm really excited about it. I've had to keep ratcheting down my expectations of it because I just take on way too many things, and I have lots of stuff on my shelf, and I need to pull some stuff off my shelf. But the Legacy Cast happened. It was an idea for a new project. It helps me in my career, and I've furthered that. I've bought equipment for it. I invested into it. I have actually traveled and done some of the recordings to get that stuff set up. I have a few more that are already scheduled, and so I think I'll be able to release the Legacy Cast in 2019, and I'm really excited about that project. But it's taken a lot of my time, like a shocking amount, and I'm not even done yet. So that happened. It's at thelegacycast.com if you want to check out the very, very beta site that I have going on right now. The third thing is I started learning to program. So I got a little ahead of myself, and I started digging into Python programming. One of the big reasons that I'm doing everything that I'm doing here is because I want to be in machine learning and data science, and I want to be building big projects that have to do with taking massive sets of data and figuring out things that we can do with that information and siphoning information from these gigantic data sets. That's what I want to do. I want to lead gigantic products and projects like that. I want to solve solutions on this really deep level. I want to solve problems. I want to have solutions on this really deep level that take lots and lots and lots of different factors into account, not just like sort of single idea solutions where you're like, oh, well, we can't get from A to B because there's a branch in the way. Like, oh, we'll pick up the branch and then boop. That's actually a thing that happens in the bug's life. But I want to get big problems, deep problems. And so in order to do that, I have a lot of project management experience and sort of general management experience and business creation and product creation experience. And I wanted to actually learn how to speak in the vernacular of the people that I want to be working with, which is inherently people who are building machine learning algorithms, and they're just working with like either big data sets or they're working with complicated stuff that I don't know enough about yet. And so I started learning how to program in Python. That was a really, really, really fun experience that I did for like 4 months, super intensely. Ended up sort of like, again, like ditching my degree journey, and then actually wrote a program that I was able to license, which was crazy cool, and I don't think that happens very often. So I built a program from scratch with my own idea, and then was able to execute that program and showcased that to some people that I knew, and they licensed it from me. So that was neat. And that lasted for several months, and then They wanted to make some updates, but I had already given up. And said, hey, I need to finish my degree, and I'll come back to this Python learning. Like, I'm going to learn how to do this. I loved it. It was so much fun. It enabled me to do a bunch of stuff in so many ways, but it was really sidetracked. So I gave that up for now, but I'm really excited about it. Surgery. I had major surgery. I tore my bicep. I tore my left arm, my bicep. So that sucked. I really like working out when I can, and that put me out of commission for a while. And also, I had to have surgery, so like that bit. And then not only did I have to have surgery, but like the casting got jacked up, and so I had the surgery. So I had no bicep, like basically no. I had a left arm that served as like a hook, but it couldn't actually like lift anything with it. And then that was true for like 6 or 7 weeks, and then I got the surgery. And repaired my bicep, but it took like 3 months for it to even get back to the point where I could actually use my arm. And then when they did the casting, like I had to go back to the emergency room the same day as my surgery because the casting, the way that it was done, it was too tight, and so it like swelled up my arm and it bruised my one of the bones in my forearm, or my forearm bone if there's only one. And I think there's only one. And I didn't watch enough Magic School Bus growing up. So that sucked, and that has taken months and months and months, and I still, like, there's a noticeable discrepancy in my right arm versus my left arm, and so that's been a huge pain, and so just medical stuff in general has, like, been a real setback this year. I discovered this thing called EOS, so I've spent a lot of my time in my life, like, building different tools for businesses and trying to solve issues and trying to come up with my own things from the amount of knowledge that I had, which I think is good, and I think a lot of the tools that I built are really good, but I discovered this thing called EOS, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System, and it was built by this guy, I think his name was Gino Wickman, and Dan Sullivan either works with him or for him or something, I don't know. Anyway, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. If sliced bread is even that great. I'm recommending Traction Tools to everyone. That's the book and the tools that come with this system, EOS. I'm championing it. It's like helped me understand who I am as a person, and like I'm an integrator. I'm a born integrator, and it's been it was like I was reading a book about my own life and the way that I think and behave and like work. And so I'm telling everybody about this, and it's the thing that I love the most about it all is that it's just a bunch of tools. It's really not new ideas, right? So like guys that I would champion to have ideas, like Seth Godin has ideas and Simon Sinek has ideas, and they're fantastic ideas, and they really get at the heart of a lot of things, and they make you think, and they make you think about change. This is not like any of that. This is like, use this tool, use this tool. You know how people do vision and planning? Well, here's a tool for that. Use this vision and planning tool. Do all of your vision and planning the way you want to, whatever, that's fine. But here's this tool to keep track of that. And then here's this meeting tool so that you can have good, productive meetings. And everybody knows how your meetings are scheduled and like the agenda for your meetings. And this is true company-wide. And here's your accountability chart. So everybody has the same type of accountability chart. So no more BSing on who reports to who and what you're accountable for and blah, blah, blah. And it all ties together. And so it's really amazing. And then just like recognizing my own sort of self and my ability to work in that has given me so much more confidence in who I am and what I want to do and how I want to work and the types of companies I want to work for. So yeah, I'm an integrator. I'm using EOS everywhere I can. I want to grow into that integrator type of position. I want to look for someone who I can be an integrator for. I'm really excited about the whole concept, but it also has sort of distracted me from my degree. So also, sort of finally, I applied for TED, and I put a decent amount of work into that concept. I applied to do a TED Talk. Again, I have done a TED Talk, but I applied to do a different one this year, same location, which maybe that's why, because they were like, hey, we don't want to have repeat speakers, which is fair. But I got shut down, and I put a decent amount of time just even into prepping for that. So, but I like the concept of what I was going to do so much that I've been working on that talk anyway. And I'm just going to record that video, sort of like not as a diary video, but it's like a talk. And so I'm going to do that anyway. So I've been spending some time on that. lastly, the thing that has happened in 2018 that's been crazy for me is that I have spent so much time giving people help from my website. I get 2 contact forms on average from my website every week. And we're not talking about like, hey man, love your videos, keep it up. We're talking about like people who have problems or people who are like just getting started and they're saying, I've watched a bunch of your videos, I definitely want to do this, here are my 5 or 6 issues, I would love to talk to you about this, what can we do? I even had somebody get a hold of me recently who basically says, I want to put together my own degree program, I'll pay you to do it for me and to walk me through this. Like, I'm not going to use a school counselor, I just want you to do it, can I pay you to do that? And I'm not going to lie, I've like flirted with that concept a few times of offering that, and I never have. And in the end, I said, hey, I'm willing to give this a shot. Let's not even talk about money. Let's just say, let's see what this looks like and how much I can genuinely help a person when I work directly with them, when I take something like this on. And so that whole thing has been so interesting, but it's been hilariously fun for me to connect with people who are getting a hold of me and to help. I hope I'm helping. And it's just so much fun for me. Please get a hold of me through my website. Let me know how I can make my website better. My website is one of these things that like I love that it exists, and also I neglect it constantly. So I think that's it. I think that wraps it up. Like, please get a hold of me if you think I can help you. Even if you aren't sure, like, get a hold of me. I make getting a hold of me through my website super easy. You just fill out a contact form, and it goes right to my personal email, and I get it on my phone, and I love receiving them. It validates so much of the stuff that I do, and I like helping so much. So yeah, that's everything. So this is my 2-year update.